Welcome back to Not Man Enough Podcast, and we are back with Marshall. Marshall has joined us. He's been with us once before. We're super excited to have him again. Yeah, man, welcome back. You didn't have video last time, though.
No, yeah, it was just the audio recording, so glad to be back.
Yeah.
And we were also just at a foldable table.
I don't know. Were we at that table?
Yeah, it was just like a long table, and we were just
a
sitting
white
at it.
foldable table.
just-
I like Marshall's description. Just a long table. He didn't say, it was just a cheap foldable table that the microphones barely
solid.
stayed on.
I mean, it could have been like a Russian table that goes on forever.
That's what I was thinking. When he said long table, I just imagined like just an actual long table like they.
You ever
have
seen
in
the
Russia.
original Batman movie with Michael Keaton?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You
Where
know
they're
what scene I'm
sitting
talking
at the
about?
end of, can you pass the salt?
Walking all the way across. It's the dumbest scene ever.
Dude, those old Batmans are.
The first one was okay.
Yeah.
It's still cheesy.
Well, they made it like a joke of.
Yeah,
they
but
went too jokey.
Yeah, but after this, and I didn't even like the second one, but after that, anyway, we weren't planning on talking about that. But and I'm not even saying what we're talking about next.
Yeah, what are we talking about, Trenton?
So it turns out presidents are free, dude. You can just take them. I don't know if you know this, but you can just take them.
Yeah.
Maybe the U.S. government should start collecting them, like Pokemon,
Like bobbleheads.
like Pokemon.
It's funny.
Can you catch them all?
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I literally saw a meme earlier of this like a Pokemon Go meme.
No way. That's
like,
so funny.
Can we catch them all?
Amazing.
That's good.
That's so funny. I don't know. That's man. So what do y'all think about that? Like, there's a lot of people trying to say that this is like illegal and stuff like that, not good and all that. What would y'all say to that?
Yeah, and look at the people in the country that have been through it all,
Yeah.
Economy just at its absolute lowest. I was reading it's like 90% of Venezuela is in poverty, which is crazy.
Wow.
Because then I Googled what the United States was, and the United States was like 11 or 12%.
Yeah.
So you think about 90% of a population living in poverty.
Yeah, it's one of those which the South America's plagued with this is countries who are extremely rich in resources,
Yeah.
but they're ran by
Drug cartels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cartels, dictators.
Yeah.
So it's very like
Yep.
top heavy.
Yep.
Where it's what's funny is it's what the left promotes, but they just say that's not the real version of that. So but that is what it is. It's
Yeah.
like,
Right.
well, once they get in power, power corrupts. Well, I say these people are usually corrupt before they even get in power, and then you see it's like, okay, there's a bunch of ultra wealthy people, and then the rest of the country is destitute. I mean, Venezuela was, I mean, people starving to death. I don't know if you remember back, was it like 2016 or 2015 or something like that, when it was like the things coming out of like, oh, they were eating dogs and cats and different context. But
In
like
other countries, it's a delicacy.
Yeah, they were eating their own pets and stuff because they were starving to death.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most oil rich countries
a
in
lot
the
of oil there.
world.
A lot of oil.
Yeah.
So what would you say about people that like, so we just said, well, there are people in poverty. And it's like, okay, well, it's not America's job, because people would say, well, it's all about America first. How does that help America? No, I mean, I have an opinion on this, but what would y'all say to those people?
I mean, there's a multitude of responses. One is, even roll the clock back of even the Biden administration acknowledged that Maduro was a problem.
Yep.
Of he
What's his name?
Maduro. Yeah.
Maduro.
Yeah. Or some refer to him as Maduro. But
Us Cajuns.
yeah. But he pretty much they had an election, he lost the election, and then was like, I didn't lose the election. Y'all were all wrong. I'm staying here.
Right.
So that's a problem there. And then which we can play the video in a second, but he started buddying up with China, Iran, Russia, and with all the oil stuff and everything like that, started letting China kind of have some free reign over their area right there around the, like, what is that? Is
Didn't
that
he
an
just
Atlantic?
let Iran in?
I guess it's
like Iran? Yeah.
yeah, he just met with China, I think, too.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that where it's strategically, like looking at a map. I was literally looking at it last night. It makes sense. Like Venezuela's right there.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, okay, you're allowing some of our enemies into our back door, pretty much.
Right.
Right.
And it's the same reason we had interest in Cuba. Why would we have interest in Cuba? Well, it's you're right there. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so you start buddying up with enemies. And then on top of that, you know, it's hard to say, you know, they keep promoting, like Trump keeps saying like, oh, well, they're sending all these drugs and stuff like that. And it's like, which is true. I wouldn't say it's the number one. Like they keep saying number one. I'm like, no, it's obviously Mexico is number one.
Right.
Like we border them. Now, Venezuela might be using some of Mexico's border too.
yeah,
They might be.
Yeah,
they might
absolutely are.
transport it through
But
Mexico.
in general, you know, we have the right to defend our borders.
Yeah, and they're
then,
bringing
okay,
stuff in illegal. Yeah.
Yep.
You're not playing ball of. It's almost like if your neighbor's, you know, throwing his dog crap into your yard constantly. It's like eventually you have to go tell him. You have to go knock on his door and tell him to stop. Well, that pretty much is what happened. And then Maduro was like, you know, started threatening the U.S. And then we're like, all right, well, you're going to play ball
Yeah.
eventually.
Yep.
Like
You're gonna find out.
yeah.
There's some people that say we did it just for the oil, and I say, isn't that America first?
Well, there's some even
offense, man.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that we should go take over.
I mean, there's a
countries for
reason
oil, but I'm just
we've
saying,
charged
like,
them with narco terrorism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah,
mean,
but it goes
we have
even
a
deeper
reason
than
to
that.
go. Yeah.
Is supposedly like I haven't read up much on this or anything, but even with the oil, is some of it was ours. Like there was, and then like I said, you're starting to sell oil to enemies of ours.
yeah.
Where we're saying, you know, so it's in our best interest to stop that. Whether and I like Trump and them have kind of ignored that question of just playing off because it's a very like early 2000s, like, oh, we're going into Iraq, we're going into. Is
Yeah.
it the same thing? It's like, no, it's actually the exact opposite. We're not going into Venezuela saying, okay, we're going to try and set up this, you know, liberal democracy that's like where we can make everybody free and stuff. We went in and said, hey, we're actually just taking you.
Actually, it
we're
would have
gonna
been better
remove-
if we had just done this in Iraq. Like just went,
It's
went
what we
and
should've-
yoinked Saddam, you know, and
Is
just
what we
like,
should have
"Ah."
done, but we don't. And they pointed out, like Trump and Marco Rubio and a bunch of these guys point out, we don't need their oil. It's they're really rich in oil, but we're way rich. Like I guarantee you, Alaska's probably like we got plenty. We're good.
if we would
don't-
just drill it, yeah.
Yeah, we don't
got
need
plenty.
Venezuela's oil.
In terms
resources.
of barreled like oil in reserves, I think Venezuela is number one. But in terms of just like untapped oil,
To me,
we don't need them.
yeah, they gave us a reason by sending the drugs and constantly just acting like it wasn't happening. And it's like, even if it wasn't at the level we said, it's still you're breaking our laws, you're killing our people with it.
Yeah.
We don't want it here.
Yeah, and there's something
It's
to take
defense,
into account of, you know, this whole America first and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it's good, but at a certain, like I said, also it's your neighbor. It's not like we're going over to China, which in a sense we still do that too. But there is a point I think you got to take into account of going, okay, look at what the people, like Marshall said, look at what the people in Venezuela.
Yeah.
They're not, you know, coming after America saying like, how dare you?
No,
They're thinking.
they're thinking
Yeah.
like celebrations.
They're not too
everything.
upset about it.
Yeah. Right. And that's something to take into account of going, okay, there's an evil man in power and we're stepping in and saying, hey, this is wrong. And not that we have to be the police of the world,
Right.
but it's not always wrong. I mean, look at,
I don't think it's always wrong.
You can point to North Korea, South Korea.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, okay, there's a vast difference there. Why? It's America getting involved. I mean, that's really the Korean
Which-
War.
Shifting to a more lighthearted perspective, can we just talk about for a moment how freaking awesome,
Yeah.
like just the awesomeness of what we did? Like it's kind of like let's just set the whole politics. It's kind of like what we did with when we bombed Iran. It's like let's just set the political aspects aside for a moment. It was just freaking sweet.
Oh, yeah.
and it's produced a lot of great memes too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that this event has actually produced the best meme since the second term of Trump.
Oh yeah, I mean
I don't know that it's been
super
anything
good.
better.
Oh, it's really good.
I wish I had
Really
some pulled
cool.
up, but I don't, unfortunately. But it's just, I mean, man, the fact that we just went in with what was it, like 150 aircraft or something like
They
that.
haven't- I don't think that they didn't. Yeah,
we
they
used-
All
announced-
special forces
we used
guys.
F-35s, we used F-18s, we used F-22s to stealth fighters to bomb certain targets.
Yeah.
Then I think helicopters went in after.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
we
then,
didn't lose a single service member.
Nope. And then Delta,
We went and took
Went
a
and
president
and his wife.
of a nation out of his own country and didn't lose a single person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you realize how, I don't care what the country is, if they have any kind of artillery that can fire at the sky or anything, that's impressive.
It's
Sure.
impressive. And the fact that we took him so fast
yeah.
that his own security couldn't even get him to lock him in like some kind of security room
Yeah.
or anything like that. It was, I think from the time they said it was from the time they like rappelled from the helicopter.
Yep.
It was like 3 minutes and something, 3 minutes, 50 seconds or something like that. It's like they were pretty much in his bedroom before he even knew they were fully like what was going on.
I think that it's awesome that I was listening to something that was after it first happened, and I was listening to like some news reports on it, and they were saying that they had Special Forces had built that compound over the last few weeks, like preparing for this day, and
Yeah.
basically
Since mid-December. Yeah.
these guys have been practicing in a mock-up of it, like they just built it.
Yeah. Like
Which is-
exactly what happened like with bin Laden, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly
Awesome.
what it is.
running the drill.
Well, and
Yeah,
you know
over and
there's
over
some
again.
like 23-year-old who missed Iraq and Afghanistan who's been just itching. He's just been dying for something to happen, and he just was like, "Oh heck yeah, I get to go steal somebody!" Like, he was so
for sure.
excited.
For sure. That's something me and you
Dude
talked about that
had
before.
had like 10 upper decker pillies in, just like rolling up, dude. And like,
We've talked about that before though. It's always funny as like from a civilian standpoint of you forget that like especially special forces guys, like they don't go into the military wanting just to set, have some computer job. or
I'm
whatever.
here for the college.
Yeah.
Yeah, here for the call. No, it's like anytime I listen to a podcast with a guy who's former Navy SEAL, former Army Ranger, whatever, it was like they were hoping. Like anytime they got a test,
they were
like, hey,
fiending for it.
maybe we're going to do this. They were like, please, let us go. I always think of like a dog on a leash, like just waiting to be let out.
Frothing.
Yeah.
Frothing at the mouth.
Hey,
Let me get him.
Yeah.
There's a reason war dogs is a term, dude.
True,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, they're
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I have been bitten by one of those Belgian Malinois when I was at Arkansas. I'm not kidding you. When I was at Arkansas, the UAPD would come in to the baseball facility and train the dogs there. And they were like, "Hey, does anybody want to get in the suit and get attacked?" And I was like,
No way. You volunteered for that?
I want to try this. Yeah. So they
way.
put me in that giant suit, and he's like 30 yards back, and this dog is just freaking out. And they let him off, and he comes sprinting at me and just bites down on my arm, and I'm going up and down with him. Yeah, it was wild.
that's awesome.
Crazy.
That-
Fur missile, literally.
A fur missile. That's awesome.
Dude, that is
Hey,
that's sick.
What I love about a lot of this is it's gotten America back, and I think that what we did in Iran kind of put us back at that level to where people were like, okay, don't mess with them. But now, like, this is a whole different level, in my opinion. Like, more than Iran,
Oh yeah.
like, we went and took a president of a nation out, and they couldn't do anything about it. It's like, hey, don't mess with us. And you know what? I'm an American, so
Kind of awesome.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that's great.
It's sick.
I mean,
Speaking of special,
and it's not a small nation. It's not like we went to the Bahamas and took it's like
Or like Madagascar
there's no
and
military or something.
you know?
It's like this is a nation that's the size of California.
yeah, we didn't
You
go
know,
to
the popular-
Madagascar and steal a zebra or something.
Yeah, the lemur. We didn't steal King Julian.
I was trying to think of that character.
Julian, King Julian.
How long is this going to take?
Maurice, what are you doing, Maurice?
he might have been saying that. We don't know.
Dude, how much I would pay to hear what was going on on that helicopter ride back. I'm sure he wasn't
man.
saying anything, but it would be hilarious.
But the
Blindfold
operators were like,
and
Oh,
earmuffs on,
Yeah.
like he couldn't
Yep.
hear nothing.
speaking of special operators, guys like that, dude, this killed me. I was just showing Matt this before we were recording a few minutes ago. Jocko Willink partnered with a clothing company called Origins USA. They make their own clothes and everything. And this was probably one of the best. capturing Maduro might have been one of the best ads for his company, because what hoodie do they have Maduro in when he's blindfolded and has these headphones on, and a whole bunch of DA agents? It's an Origins USA hoodie that's not even out yet. It's only for pre-order. And he
crazy.
posts it and uses it for ad, and it is hilarious.
Yeah,
That is funny.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
That's
so
awesome.
So what did Marco Rubio? I know we got a clip of Marco Rubio talking.
Play it. Oh.
Much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolás Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world.
Yep.
He is a fugitive of
says a
American
lot.
justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And yeah, exactly. But
Don't let anybody claim it.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolás Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take. This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. This is a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy.
We
but
probably
instead,
would
he
have
wanted to
taken
play
him
big
out of the
boy.
country and put him
so
up
now,
somewhere.
he's got other sets of
wanted
problems
to
on his
leave.
hands.
Yeah.
And but I think that the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office because it's not going to turn out well.
That's what he did with North Korea.
And so I hope that I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving
I
forward.
like that. That's a good response.
Dude, he's been killing it. Like Marco Rubio.
Oh, I
There's
like him.
Anyone who wants to like questioning things of going, okay, well, what's the thought process behind this? Just go look up his interviews, like on all the news networks and stuff, where they're like, well, why wouldn't we do that? And stuff. And he just dismantles it all and just points out, all lays it out for him.
Anybody that has to do with the military side of the administration, I've been a huge fan of.
Oh yeah.
I have no problems. Like I don't think that there's one person I've looked at and been like,
I actually feel proud of our military.
yeah. Now, Pam Bondi, that's a different,
Which is nice.
But anyway,
Yeah, no, it is one of those times it's been I can't think of any time in my lifetime I look and say, oh, there's actually like real men in leadership.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in the Biden, we had men in leadership, but they thought they were women. And then, it's like now we have like actual men in charge. And I'm not even just like, talking about Trump. I'm talking about just Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, all these guys. Yeah. So you have actual men who aren't afraid to be men.
Yeah.
And aren't afraid to say the truth.
And lead with conviction and like also to do the job that they need to do.
Yep.
Like it's like they don't care what people say about them, which is part of being a man. Like they care what's right to do.
Yeah.
It seems like they're truly concerned of what's best for America.
Yeah. Truth at all costs.
Yeah.
So
not afraid to, it's like you see Pete Hegseth coming out and being like, we don't want fat people in the military.
Yeah. Yeah, Robert
like,
Kennedy.
Yeah.
With the airports, like trying to put stuff in airports for people to work out. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. No, it's a very serious administration. Very serious,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
nonsense.
What do you
And
say?
I-
No more
I like that.
beardos. Like basically telling everybody.
so, yeah.
It's just basically you got to shave, and basically unless you're like special operations guy.
Yeah,
You're gonna
some of them
shave.
get
Yeah.
exemptions. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, overall though, this has been
It's been
it's
great.
just cool. Like I said, Iran was really cool. Of like just from the like you said, politics aside, whether you agree with it and disagree, whatever, I don't care. But just cool seeing that, and then this is on another level.
Just
This was cool. That was cool on a technological side.
yeah,
Like the technology involved, I felt like. Was
well,
really cool.
I'll say this: get ready because you're about to be frustrated with all the people that are going to claim that this has everything to do with Israel.
oh yeah,
It's already going on. It's like, man, come on.
well, it's just
Yeah, I mean,
Give me a break. Like, I'm sorry. Like, not everything's Israel. I'm just tired of it.
What if we go? No, never mind. Hey, but definitely like all of South America is kind of they're a little nervous right now.
Yeah.
Colombia. Did you see what Trump said about? He was talking about Colombia.
you're
too.
next, buddy.
And he said if
bet
you
you-
don't play ball, it might be worse. And they're like, what's worse than like?
To Rubio's point, he's
Yeah.
giving them a chance.
He's giving them a chance, and I bet you they listen now.
Yeah.
I mean, a
Well,
lot more. I'm not saying that they're
Yeah.
definitely going to, like,
But yeah, I saw Mexico and all them came out and like condemning it and stuff, and I'm like, oh, you're
watch out.
You don't know what
and,
you're
and
in
not
for.
even like, but we same thing. We have a vested interest in not necessarily the president of Mexico, but just Mexico in general, of
Yeah.
not taking it over, but being like, hey, enough.
Gustavo
Right.
Petro. He might want to
Is that the
watch
Colombian
out, president. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to.
president? And
Are you sure that's the way you pronounce that?
Well, there's A's instead of O's, but I'm just saying
One country
yeah.
over,
You know, it
so
makes
it's
sense.
a
I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you mentioned being Cajun. That's why you say bruh instead of bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just y'all just replace O's with A's.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
when
true.
I first moved up here, just to show you how bad it is, when I first moved up here, there's a place called Heber Springs. I don't know if they are even
you
saying
still
it
say
right.
it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, when I first got here and I was asking for directions, I worked for Coke.
I'll pretend to be the guy. Ask me for directions.
Yeah, I was like, hey, I can't because it doesn't work. But well, okay, yeah,
I'll say it. I'll say how. I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess how the guy said it.
okay. I was like, okay, so I need to get here, and it says I need to take Highway 5, which is the exit. What does it say on the exit?
Does it say Heber Springs?
That's Aber. That's Haber Springs.
Oh, Haver Springs.
Yeah,
Haber.
Aber actually is what
Aber.
we, yeah. And they kept on laughing at me, man. And I was like, what are you talking about? But I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. Petit Jean is not Petit Jean.
Petit Jean.
Yeah. It's Petit Jean.
Petit Jean.
Petit Jean. Petit Jean. I mean, she's French, people.
She.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
she-
named after
Yeah, it's
a
named
girl.
after a woman. Yeah.
It's named after a woman that
she
died
petite?
there. Yeah, she's got her, like, that first overlook you go to? Her grave site's there, I'm pretty sure. And she's French. So it's like, stop calling it Petit Jean. Like, see, I can't even say it. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even work.
All right,
Doesn't
Star
work.
Trek Next Generation. It was
Anyway.
never, this is Captain Jean-Luc Picard. It was
Right.
Jean-Luc
Jean-Luc
Picard.
Picard.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Well, as a true American first type person, I'm gonna say I don't give a crap what the French say. That's a J.
Hey, but we cook some good food down there.
That's true.
True.
That's
Eat
true.
everything out of a ditch.
Yeah, that is. I will. In all honesty, that is one thing that really frustrates me, is when people try to like do their proper pronunciation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, we're at Olive Garden. It's fettuccine Alfredo. You don't have to put a little finesse on it. Like, come on.
Like,
yeah.
Or Lamy.
there's one.
That's at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that goes to a Mexican restaurant and he's like saying C for everything. Like for yes, it's like C, and he's like nodding at people.
Cerveza.
Yeah, surveys.
Like, hey, check this out. I'm gonna order. I'll have a Modelo, please. Like they think it's impressive. Anyway.
Oh,
I don't even know where we go from there. Anyway, that's awesome. I think it's a good thing. Maybe you disagree. Whatever.
One thing I was going to add on that was
yeah.
the fact that we got, it's Lake and Riley, the girl that was killed.
Yeah.
And her killer was from Venezuela. I'm pretty sure. So that was big news.
Out of their prison system, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So he was sent here, and that's one of the things that Rubio mentioned is that they were sending over their criminals.
Yeah.
And Trump has been saying it all along. People have been sending their criminals here.
Yeah.
They're people that
Venezuela
are
was one of the worst. Yeah.
and they were one of the
really
worst.
bad.
So it's like, you know what?
Yeah, not just Lake and Riley. There's like I think several.
We
people.
should hold him accountable.
Oh, and there's
for all
probably
of it.
more that we just haven't heard about because the media is not going to play to that
Yeah,
to that
but
story.
No, that's you're saying though. Just it's
See, I hope it's not just drug charges. I hope that they mention all that in these court proceedings.
Right.
I don't know what all he's
Exactly.
charged with. I haven't really looked at it.
yeah, narco terrorism and what else was it? That's the only one
I don't know.
Mainly, the
Add all this other stuff.
Yeah, I
don't know
was
if we
talking
can,
to
but just
someone
do
the
it.
other day, and they said, can we not just charge him for communist? Like, can we not just say, hey, you're a communist?
Yeah, and that's
Guilty.
another good point. Like for anybody listening, like this is living proof. Again, socialism does not work.
Yeah,
Yeah, true communism, and don't even get me started.
they just haven't tried it.
They just haven't tried.
Right.
The problem
Tried
is
the right way.
is with the new woke right. They're going stepping right into that direction of communism. It's almost like they think it's a good thing, and it's like, man, give me a break, man. Like,
Yeah.
anyway,
I mean, I think it's pretty merciful. We let them live. I mean, could have just went there and just killed them.
we'll
Coulda
see
whacked
if we let them live. We don't know.
Fair
I'm
enough.
just kidding.
Maybe what we should do is equal weights and measure type justice here is we should put him under some kind of really hard dictatorship where he has to go stand in the bread lines for the rest of his life, which could be a prison. It could just be a prison, but he doesn't get the same treatment other prisoners get. Is he has to go stand and wait for days on end to get his food. And then maybe there's food, maybe there's not. It depends.
And then every once in a while, we just send a crazy person that's a criminal to come knock on his door and then beat him up.
There you go.
that just sounds like prison.
Because he was sending those crazy people to us. So it's like, hey, let's
So that's when we ask you, have you ever heard of the word gulag?
Yeah.
Would you like to go to one?
Anyway, so moving on, and now I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I haven't been keeping up with this that much, so I'll kind of lean on y'all's guys' take on it and kind of what we just watched the video right before we came on.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get a little bit of insight. But this whole Shawn Ryan, Dan Crenshaw thing. Yeah, that's y'all can take it away. Like,
Sure.
y'all know a lot more about it than me.
So for context, this kind of all started. Shawn Ryan had on Tulsi Gabbard a while ago and made this point. He was talking about politicians who only by their job title get paid $100,000, $200,000 a year, maybe, but they are multimillionaires. So he made this point. He's like, well, how is a congressman who only makes $100,000 a year, maybe 200, able to throw $1 million birthday party with Steve Aoki DJing at it and stuff like that? Never mentioned Dan Crenshaw's name. Now he's talking about Dan Crenshaw. Kind of just trying to make a point.
yeah.
Then Dan Crenshaw messaged him on Instagram and said, hey, my boys at 6, SEAL Team 6 is what he's talking about. He's what he's referring to. My boys at 6 basically told me you've been talking crap about me. I'd appreciate it if you stopped. It's not exactly what it said. That's the gist of what it said, though. I don't have the exact quote. And all this is publicly out there. You can just go look if you want to verify that.
I mean, you're a politician. You got to know better than to say
Yeah, it's
something like that.
really stupid. Now, Shawn Ryan took it a little far. He was like, it was a threat.
Yeah, that's a bit far.
And it's like,
but
all right, dude. Like,
I
you
remember
know,
that.
And he even admitted, he said, now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not a threat. Maybe I'm misinterpreting
I don't
it.
think it's a threat. I just think it's just ignorant of that guy.
So I think, I will say it's cringy.
Is
It was an incredibly cringy comment to make. Like, what the heck? So, anyways, it got to the point where Shawn Ryan's... Oh, sorry. Dan Crenshaw then eventually just sent Shawn Ryan's team a cease and desist letter. Basically say, hey, I don't want you to take down any content that was making those remarks about me.
Yeah.
And in short, the response from Shawn Ryan's team was the middle finger. I mean, they basically just said no.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like, we're not doing this.
yeah.
So they have every right to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, they're like, dude, no.
As long as they're not slandering someone.
Yeah, no,
which he did.
He's asking questions, and so he then extended the invitation to Dan Crenshaw. Hey, you can come on my show, and we'll just talk this out. Let's handle it like men.
Yep.
Then they kind of played this whole legal game where Shawn Ryan has to have documents signed for you to come on and interview with the show. Donald Trump has signed these documents. J.D. Vance has signed these documents. Joe Kent, Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, Hunter Biden signed the documents, all right?
Yeah. If you don't get those, by the way, I'm sure, and I don't know.
They're release forms.
They're release forms in the sense of like, we're not going to record this whole episode and then you're going to back out of it and say, I didn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, we made Marshall sign a similar document.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and there's even stuff like that. So, so Shawn,
instead, we just got his life savings, but that's okay.
Sorry.
well, and it's even stuff like so.
Disappointing.
Sydney, if you're listening, I did not do that.
Yeah.
It's even though like Shawn Ryan a lot of times will take his guests out on ATVs. He's got a lot of property, and he'll take them out shooting and stuff like that. Even in there is like, hey, you're signing off on a waiver. That's like you can. That's in it. It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
They kind of said, hey, we want some concessions, and Shawn Ryan's like, I'm not going to give you any concessions or special treatment on that document, but I will make some concessions on a different document. I'll put y'all's requests in a separate document for y'all to sign. And they kind of played this whole game and then waited till the very last minute. Dan Crenshaw was supposed to go on January 2nd, and they basically waited till New Year's Eve to send back a response of like, oh, hotel's booked. And they never mentioned signing the documents. And I think Shawn Ryan put out a video basically saying, okay, here's what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to screw me over by saying, oh, look, we went out there, we booked a hotel and everything, and he denied us at the door. Basically said, I'm not going to record with you. And he kind of exposed Dan Crenshaw of like, no, you didn't sign the documents, and you're not going to make me out to be the bad guy because you won't sign the documents. So I now revoke that invitation. And that kind of brings us mostly up to date. I think you have a little bit more information than I do in terms of Chad Wright kind of getting involved, maybe.
Yeah, I'm a big Chad Wright fan, and he's so funny. I mean, we were talking about it before the show.
He's a goofball,
how
man.
he's just goofy, and I think he kind of takes a step back and he looks at it and he's like, this is the whole situation. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
You got two grown men in big positions of power, and they're feuding over something, and it's like the rest.
Both of them are both ex-Navy SEALs.
All three of them, yeah. So Chad Wright,
Okay.
Dan and Shawn are all Navy SEALs. So there was actually something that released today. It was with Chad Wright and Andy Stump where they were talking about it. I haven't watched that. I need to watch that. But yeah, Chad Wright was just kind of giving his spiel on it, and kind of talking about how ridiculous it is, kind of from both ends. The latest one I watched, he was kind of talking about how it's ridiculous where Dan Crenshaw is able to, pay for all these things with the salary that he's on.
Yeah.
So, but that's just like politicians in general. Like,
It
you
is.
just go look at politicians. It's
Well,
like,
I was about to say, I know that a lot of people are accused. He's making himself look guilty right now.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
know if he is. I don't know if he's guilty of insider trading or what. I do know, though, and we've talked about this many times before, is lobbyists are a thing.
Yep.
And I promise you, there is a possibility that people are just doing these parties for him from these lobbyist groups.
That's exactly what.
And it's like, it doesn't have to be insider trading. This is just politics, man. And look, I'll be honest with you. I hate lobby. I think we should get rid of all lobbyists.
Yeah.
I think that should be illegal. That's my personal take. But anyway.
Because it dismantles. And I was telling Trent this too. I was like, the kind of ignorant view, and not to say like anyone's ignorant, but
you are.
Yeah, but viewing it as because their finances, like we can go look at their stock portfolios. Like we can pull up how much.
Hold on. What'd you say?
I did.
I'm going to get dogged off for pronouncing names. I want to know what you just said.
Yeah, it's not portfolios. It's portfolios.
But I definitely fumbled that. But anyways, you can go look, so you can see how much Dan Crenshaw's made.
right. Yep.
You can see how much he's. That's not the problem necessarily. It is a problem. Is there 100% is a form of insider trading going on of where they, they
could be,
they increase their stock portfolios at a rate that is not attainable for any other person.
Yep.
And the problem is what you're saying. The problem is you have these people who, whether it's lobbyists or whatever, or just some CEO of a company, come in and say, hey, you know, kind of buddy at maybe a
Which
party.
basically becomes a lobbyist.
Yeah, and goes, yeah, it is a lobbyist
Yeah.
in a sense, and goes, hey, it's your birthday coming up, right? Yeah,
Let me throw you a party.
Let me throw you a party. Yeah, we're going to have, you know, a famous DJ there. Maybe, you know, it'll be 3 nights, you know, this multi-million-dollar party, things like that. And then it comes back later and they show up in your office and they say, hey, you remember when I threw you that party? Well, you know, and that's what what happens. And that happens all the time.
I've got this new patent on seat belts.
Yeah.
That would be really good in all the American cars if we could pass a law on these seat belts. That's how this works.
It would be good for everybody.
Yeah.
And remember, we're tight. We're tight.
Right.
And that's what happens all the time.
Yep.
You see, it happens with, why do you think every single Congress person and senator, and I'm using that loosely, I don't know if every single one,
Right.
but has book deals? I don't give a crap about some of their books, you know, which I will say Dan Crenshaw's book is pretty good. But
Right.
I read it before all of his problems, but it's like they get these massive book deals. They're on the New York Times bestseller, and you're like, who is this person? You know, it's like some random Congress person that nobody really cares about.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a fascinating story, but they have some ghostwriter write it for them, and then they put their name on it, and then they probably get paid. And it's the same thing. It's all this lobbyist, all this stuff going on of money under the table.
Lobbyists, it's like if you ever wondered why we got rid of the regular bulb, like the light bulb that you grew up with, you know, and we went to these fluorescent curly, you know, they used to just sell the curly ones at first. And then like now you have all these different versions. But it's like the reason is because guess who gave to the campaign of Obama? It was GE that had the patent to that, I'm pretty sure. And it's like GE had the patent. GE gave tons of money to all these people in politics, and guess who ends up getting, you know, their bulb put to where it's like, this is all you can have.
Yeah. There's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Yeah. And it's and so again, going back to the people that everything's Israel, it's like, yeah, we have lobbyists from Israel. Sure enough. But we have them from a lot of places. It's like we need to kill it all.
It's all corrupt. And what's funny is it happens everywhere. This isn't just a political, which is all politics in a sense, but you start looking into corporations in general, internal within them, this stuff happens.
Oh, insider trading? I mean, isn't that what?
Yeah, insider trading, but even just in general of this whole, hey, let's, you know, teaming up to try and push out another guy or whatever, all this kind of like scummy behind the scenes of it's what used to happen in this. Never mind. I'll bring this up in a second.
What? Hold on. Who's?
It'll be a good segue for.
Hold on. Who's the chick that she's older? She used to do all of the home things, decorations. She did insider trading.
Martha Stewart.
Thank you.
Martha
Stewart.
Yeah, she went to prison.
Yeah, she went to prison.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if she can go to prison, like why get these other people for it?
What's funny is if you look at like what she went to prison for. I mean, you could sentence probably like
a lot of people.
Tons.
Half of the 1% would be in prison probably.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a lot of our politicians that probably do need to be investigated. That's kind of off subject.
Funny enough,
but Dan Crenshaw is not helping himself right now. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not even
he's not
upset with the fact that Dan Crenshaw may or may not be insider trading. Although that would be upsetting, but it's kind of a different topic. The main thing that I'm critiquing Dan Crenshaw about right now is dude's just kind of acting like a butthole, like for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's kind of been documented. And Shawn Ryan said it in a clip of like, all right, it's kind of a bully. Well, he kind of is. I mean, there's like,
to be fair, he's from a SEAL team, so
yeah, they probably
but there's tell you what, there's others.
I don't know.
No, but there's other guys in the public eye who are SEALs who are actually incredibly nice.
Absolutely.
Jocko, even Shawn Ryan,
Chad Wright.
Chad Wright. Man. So it's not just the SEAL team. I'm not going to give an excuse.
I'm just joking. Yeah.
But my biggest critique on the Shawn Ryan side, and I actually love Shawn Ryan. I love the show. I think he's got a lot of good things to say. But I've seen it, especially when he has politicians on his show. He has a very simplified idea of politics. It's a very black and white, no gray type thing.
Yeah.
It can be really frustrating at times where, you know, it's almost just like, well, it's been 1 year And Trump hasn't done exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, there's a
and it's like
reality.
There's reality. It's like you're not even taking into account of the fact that dude's gotten sued. I probably can't even count on both of my hands how many times Trump's been sued since he's gotten back in office. Like, you're not taking into account the fact that he has to work with the rest of the politicians.
Yeah, even the right.
Even the right.
Yeah.
It's just a very simplistic.
I've been hearing this a lot. It's like we keep being told, and it's like, yeah, but we also have to live in reality. Like, there's a reality. And it's like, okay, it's like I always tell people that. I live in the real world. Like, you can go off into all your wackadoodle things that you can't prove, this and that. You know what I mean? Wackadoodle. That's the word I have today.
It's a good word.
I bet you no SEAL team guys ever use that word. But well, I hope not. Anyway, the point is that it's like I have to live in reality. Like, it's like, stop. Like, there's certain things that have to happen to make things happen. Like, and it's like, it's just not that simple. It's not as like, oh, you can just flip a switch. And he's like, because I heard, there's a person I was having a conversation with the other day. And it's like, well, he has the Congress, he has the Senate, and still not getting anything done. It's like,
well, that's not true. We just yoinked the president.
Well, it's like, do you think that all the Congress and Senate are with him though? They're not.
Yeah.
They're paid off by these guys. I mean, there are actually like people who claim to be Republican who are like completely siding with the Democrats on everything. And it's like, it's just not reality. No. And it's like, okay, it's like you can say that, but that's not reality. That's not how the real world works.
No. Yeah, it's crazy. So do y'all know the comedian John Crist?
Oh,
yeah. So, dude, he was on somebody's podcast. I saw a clip of it.
I saw this.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
Where he was talking about Tucker. He was talking about Turning Point. He was talking about Candace. And he was like, behind closed doors, he was like, they friends. And that's all he said. And he was like, I'm just going to leave it at that. So he was basically putting it up to like say, it's a stage. You know, it's a front.
Politics involved in
that
too.
Yeah, so I was like,
man. Yeah, it's a lot of, I mean, that happens in all this. It's with that gets into like clickbait type stuff of just trying to gain views or whatever.
Yep.
But going off of kind of what you were saying, Jonathan, is I mean, that's just been happening for forever.
Yeah, there's no telling.
Like
it's Shawn Ryan might be calling up Dan Crenshaw after him and be like, love you, bro. I actually doubt it, but you never know.
No, I don't think so. But it is this whole, and one of the things that got me upset at like Dan Crenshaw a long time ago was, and you see this a lot with the right. I don't know why I say the right kind of loosely here, but you see guys like Dan Crenshaw who are willing to kind of buddy up to the left to like, we're teaming up for this bill or whatever like that. But then they're really, really harsh with
their own side.
And that's a common, I don't know what it is about the right, is a common thing that we tend toward.
They're trying to win over both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
It's like, I have the Republican name. I'm going to act like I push against my own side so that they know I'm real. Yeah. And then for the Democrats, I'm going to try and show I can side with them, and so I can win over some. I'm a
but
conservative,
but I'm kind of pro-choice or whatever. They kind of do that kind of whole.
I hate it because it's not real.
It's politics. It's what it is.
You're pandering.
You're putting a face on, and it just shows me, and that goes back to what we said a while ago of like it's men without spines. It's men without a pair.
True enough.
Yeah. It's they don't actually stand on anything. It's all about. They're like, well, I have to compromise to get this bill or whatever. And I'm like, well, no, you don't. You don't have to compromise. And I would say I would criticize even Trump in some areas like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you don't have to compromise on these things. Who cares what people think?
Yeah, he actually just recently said something about abortion that I vehemently disagree with.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw that.
No. It's been, I mean, he's always had a pretty...
just recently I saw, basically Trump was saying like, well, hey guys, like, basically the gist of it was like, you kind of got to just play the game and be flexible with like some of the abortion laws. You got to be a little flexible with it. And it's like, no, I don't actually. I don't have to be flexible at all, and I'm not gonna be.
I don't think that you have
to that's the problem with even a lot of these. You would be shocked. You'd be shocked if you started looking into a lot of these so-called conservatives of how many of them are flexible with abortion laws,
Right.
Yes.
or all these things of like, well, it's if it wins people because they care more about, and this just gets to a different point, but we don't have to dig into it. But they care more about the politics than they do truth, and I would say the truth comes from Christ. It comes
Scripture.
from it's truly a Christless conservatism. It's all these problems of what you were saying even a while ago with the woke right, whatever it is, all these people who it's kind of, they're all over the place. They blame Israel for this, they blame this, and it's all the same thing is they don't have any grounding in reality because they don't know what truth is because they're not.
It's not based on Scripture.
This is a big issue, and I had a conversation with somebody this the other day. It's like, and I think that there's a misunderstanding when I say this, is people have stopped seeking truth, and they don't want to hear truth, and it's causing an issue because we have, I believe that it's a huge hit to America that we've lost the true news, like the true media in the sense. It's like we were built upon having newspapers that reported truth and they were held accountable. America was built off of that system.
Yeah.
We don't have it anymore. And now we're reliant on crackpots on every forum, and it's like, I would rather have that now because you can't trust the media at all. So it's like now we have access to more opinions and stuff, but the problem is so many of the opinions are just false. Like it's like there's no proof behind it, and so it's just like the wild, wild west.
This goes right back to what I was. So I've been thinking about this a lot because we've had conversations about it, and I think the problem is whether like you could point back to history, whatever. And I think if you look back, the one thing you could say is at least people had a moral backbone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what's needed.
There was a little bit, even somewhat of, like, the Democrats were pretty radical back then too, like, from a Christian standpoint. But there was a little bit of like respect in the truth and things like that. Of there was still like
there was still some foundational.
That's
things.
what I'm saying. There was still that foundational of Democrats went to church back in the day or whatever you would say, stuff like that.
Right.
There's a little bit of that, and where now that's just. It's blown up, and now you've gone so far that you have people who would profess the name of Christ, say they're conservative, and be okay with abortion.
Or their kid becoming,
marriage. That's what I'm saying.
My kid says that my little boy says that he's a girl. Well, he's a girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I'm talking about. So, but I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like people don't care about the truth anymore. And I think that, anyway, that's a whole other subject.
Yeah, it's like what R.C. Sproul said. It's not the profession of faith; it's the possession of faith.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, wow.
Because many people profess it, but they don't
That's
possess
good.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, we're done with that. We're gonna have a second episode with Marshall here, so join us for the next one. See you later.